So yeah, you're not alone. Underwater levels are the pits. Very few
pits.
Games do them right.
See, I feel like the challenge is justified because it is hard to move underwater.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back to some more of Gex. Enter the Gecko. Alright, we're going to do a bonus level this time.
Ooh.
So we've got ourselves all here.
See, Aztec.
Bonus Bonanza, Aztec to Step. Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad it's this because you said Aztec and I like read it as Aztec two-step.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was going to do like a two-step dance.
Oh.
And I got concerned for a moment.
No, we gotta collect some jewels throughout this ancient Aztec temple. And we have about 3 minutes to do it. See that timer ticking down?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, we gotta collect all of them and then collect the remote at the end.
Okay.
All within the time limit. That's basically what the mini games are all like. Collect things before the time runs out.
Okay. And you get, even if you like don't get the remote at the end, do you get to keep all the gems?
No.
Oh.
You have to get the remote at the end, and that counts as a win. Otherwise, you gotta do the whole thing over again.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like what happens if you don't get all the gems then? Or do you have to do both?
You have to do both.
Woo!
Because once you get all the gems, then the remote appears.
Oh, okay, so it's however fast you can get the gems.
Yep. Da 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 da. Kinda sad that there's no more Indiana Jones, even though Disney bought Lucasfilm, so they bought Indiana.
Aww.
Like that happened when everyone was like raving over The Force Awakens. There were memes of just like they also bought me too, but I guess no one cares.
They're like the ugly stepchild. Poor Indiana Jones. I used to love Indiana Jones.
I still love Indiana Jones. I
do.
even got some of the video games.
Okay, so I love Indiana Jones, but I don't feel like I can say that anymore because then people start like quoting and referencing it and I don't pick up on it because I haven't seen it in so long.
Okay.
But like I have them all on DVD.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of watching them again because there are so many things I'd like to rewatch.
Like 1 and 3 I feel like are god tier movies, which is Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. And Temple of Doom and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull are both kind of like, they're okay. They have some nice spots and they have some weird spots as well.
Yeah.
But they're okay. Whereas, like, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade are just, like, excellent movies.
But, like, I remember watching Indiana Jones whenever I was younger. Me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always watched movies together.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to agree on them. So and it was always, like, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, the Ernest movies, like Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Camp.
I've only seen the Christmas movie of Ernest.
Yeah, I loved Ernest. That was always like my top pick. My brother would get tired and he's like, "Can we watch something else?" Like, but I loved the Ernest movies. But yeah, those were like the 3 things that we typically agreed on before time ran out.
Yeah, go me.
Bonus Bonanza! Yay!
Alrighty.
Oh.
So that's the bonus of there. And if we get more remotes, we'll unlock some more bonus levels. So yeah, it gives you the incentive to collect the remotes. Because you can beat the game and not collect all the remotes, but you get more secrets if you do.
Okay.
Collectathons are like that.
I
Whoops!
think that's cool because it offers a lot of replayability.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where are you going?
I got a little discombobulated. We want to go back to Titanic. Dang it, where's that dang... There it is.
Where's that dang platform?
Conflabbit! Where's the dang platform for the Titanic level? Oh, I have a game. Well, my sister has a game for the Nintendo 64 that's called Rugrats Scavenger Hunt.
Oh, boy.
It's like a very basic Mario Party. Like, very vanilla, kind of like... There's only a total of like 4 mini games.
Oh, yes.
It's like baby's first Mario Party.
Aww.
Even though, to be more honest, baby's first Mario Party should just be a Mario Party.
Well, yeah.
It's a better experience, and it's like
how
just...
fun would it be if it was like actually Baby Mario? Like Baby's First Mario Party, and it's Baby Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I don't like Baby Mario because he doesn't have the mustache, and the mustache makes the man. Like, they even reference it in Origami King when they're like, he's the mustachioed one. Like, that is his character.
Well, Mario's not going to be born without the mustache.
He should
be. with a mustache.
He should be.
That'd be weird.
A little baby with a handlebar mustache. It'd be hilarious.
Oh, boy. Alright, so this time we have to go through the underwater caverns, which in the last level we got a little mixed up. But we also have to just collect all these goodies and hopefully get a remote.
Yeah.
By collecting them.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not alone. Underwater levels are the pits. Very few games do them right.
See, I feel like the challenge is justified because it is hard to move underwater. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, throw us a bone. Like, if it's going to be that hard to just use the controls, give us less, like, of that. Of, like, those little fish. Or, you know, something that...
Well, even the little fish aren't hard. They're just hard to hit. Because they're small targets.
Well, exactly.
And your controls suck.
Your controls are different because you're moving around underwater. Mm-hmm. So it's like, either make the controls the same and just have the features of moving around underwater. Like, he's leaving a bubble trail and, like... You can clearly tell he's swimming. Like, do that instead of...
Metroid games have my favorite water levels.
Make you want to die. Because
the whole theme is, like, you can't really navigate that much. You move slow underwater until you get the gravity suit. Oh. Then it's just like any other level.
Normal. Okay.
So there's an incentive...
to get the gravity suit.
Mm-hmm. That way, like, the water level is supposed to be more explorable. Because early on, you're not really supposed to be in water. It's just kind of like an obstacle in your way. Like, I gotta traverse the water, make it to this next part. But once you get the gravity suit, then you can explore all that the water area has to offer.
Okay.
And Metroid is all about the exploration.
Now, Metroid, is that one of the really hard games?
Most of them are hard. There are a couple that are relatively easy. Because
easy by your standards, or like I'll only cry
they remade the first Metroid to be like very simple and streamlined because they wanted to introduce it to the portable gamer, the gamer that can only play a short periods of time on the bus in school.
Yeah.
So they revamped the entire game, remade it. They gave you like a map, all these equipment. They kind of like, in a way, nudge you where to go.
Okay.
So very simple compared to...
So it's made for someone like me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's one of the game franchises that I really want to play. Mm-hmm. Because I know you talk about it a lot. The music is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I would really like to play it, but I feel like it's going to be too hard for me.
Yeah. Well, most of its difficulty just comes in like memorization and like finding the right map. Because, like, you have to remember, like, where you're going and what you're doing.
You've all heard my commentary.
Because it's all about, like, you can easily get lost in Metroid.
Okay.
And be like, oh, what do I do now? And the game's like, well, what do you have available? What can you do?
Okay. So that's going to be more like it's an open world, then? Semi-open world?
Semi, yes. The Prime games are a little more open, but they're not open world.
Okay.
They're just like highly explorative.
Okay. Yeah, because I really like the open world aspect, but I just have no idea where to go or what to do, what direction I should go in. What should I be doing here? I don't know.
We have a couple really nice ones lined up for you.
Okay.
So you can really
Zelda?
dip your... Yes, Zelda. Zelda's one of them.
I feel like that kid that knows what they're getting for Christmas, but like they're not allowed to play with it yet. Where like I know I'm gonna get to play Zelda soon, but I know it's not right now.
Right.
Like I still have some growing to do before I can dive into like some of the Zelda games.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, is it time? No, not yet. Okay.
It's time.
I feel like it's gonna be an event.
Oh, it will be.
Like.
I'll make a thing out of it.
But see though, I also feel like
Ouch.
It'll be kind of like how, I don't know if you've ever had to, like, have an older animal. Like, I remember the first time my one dog was so old and my parents were like, listen, like, we're going to have to start talking about, like, the dog and what we're going to do because, like, he was just in pain all the time. And the vets were like, there's nothing we can do. He's too old.
Aww.
So they were talking about, like, the humane things to do. Should we
Yes.
put him down? You know, what should we do? So, like, his last day, he just got to do whatever the hell he wanted.
Aww.
Like, he ate everything he wanted to eat. He went on the longest walks, which we carried him through most because he couldn't walk it, but...
Well, I blew the shit out of that shark.
Yeah.
Smile, you son of a...
But I feel like that's what it's going to be like whenever I get to play Zelda. You're going to be like, here's this nice meal. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be like the perfect day. And I'm like, are you going to take me to the vet? Have me put down? Like...
No.
And then it's going to be Zelda.
Yeah, you're gonna play some Zelda.
Zelda time.
It'll be great. Yeah, Metroid, the majority of Metroid games are mostly about just like throwing you into a world and being like, well, what can you do? And you look for power-ups so your suit can adapt to the obstacles.
Okay.
So let's just say that there's like, oh, I can't reach that yet. Okay, I guess I'll have to come back here because I can't reach that jump. And then you get the space boots. Oh, I can jump higher. I can go back to that spot, but you have to remember where that spot was.
Is.
The game's not going to tell you.
Gotcha.
You go, oh, that spot where I couldn't jump. I got to go back there. That's how Metroid operates.
I feel like if I mess up enough while I'm playing it, I'll remember.
Yeah.
Because I'll have to go back.
Yeah, it's a very trial and error game.
Okay. Okay.
And like some of them are kind of linear. Like it's just like you have access to Sector 1. You have access to Sector 2.
Okay.
Whereas others are just like you're thrown in the middle of the planet.
Good
Explore.
luck.
There's 4 bosses you have to beat to unlock the final boss. They're scattered all over this world in the far corners.
Okay.
Once you beat all of them, then you can fight the final boss.
I have no idea where you're at right now.
I'm in those underwater tunnels. But I'm also trying to collect the rest of those jewels. But to add to that, I'm low on health. That's not health, that's an extra life. Okay.
Well, at least now if you die, you have 27 lives.
Yeah, I have... Ooh!
Well, there... Aww.
Dope, dope, dope. What's nice, though, is that even if you die, your counter doesn't reset.
Yeah, that is nice.
So you can go right back to it. Because, like, if it reset, this would be a lot harder and a lot more frustrating than it's worth. But because it doesn't reset, I'm kind of like, okay, we'll just continue where we're going. And a lot of enemies respawn, so that means you can just kind of, like, farm
get
the collectibles. And I'll have that secret remote in no time. Ow, you little shit.
Fine, keep your secrets.
Damn lobster snipped me.
You could say it was a rock lobster.
Alrighty. There we go. That's health. I need health.
I don't need it. I don't
need it.
I need it.
Aw, he bit me.
Charlie bit me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all those necklaces. And you need 50 of those.
Yes,
yeah?
I need 50 of these things.
You only have 18.
I know. Again, if this was not an underwater level, it would be a lot easier to collect.
Yeah.
Because look how much empty space there is. Just like, what is this? This whole ship has nothing.
It's the vastness of the ocean.
Nothing to collect, no characters, no monsters, just a bunch of empty bleh.
That you know of.
But like, that's like something that like open world have, and like there's a benefit to it, don't get me wrong, but there's just a lot of empty space where you're just walking in a direction and it's just like, something gonna happen?
See, it makes me wonder if it's like, if they leave it completely empty to add to the frustration as you, the player, because it's like, oh, you went clearly in the wrong direction, there's nothing for you over here, now you have to travel all the way back. Or did they just like run out of ideas?
Well, some games do it to be like, taking the sites that we took all this time to design. I'm just like, well, sites are nice, but I'd like to do something.
Put something there, man. Like,
that's where Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite games with like vast open worlds, because it has like these beautiful landscapes, but it fills it with shit.
yeah, with stuff.
There's like a whole ecosystem. There's the predators, there's the prey, there's the herbivores, there's the omnivores.
Yeah.
It feels like a world, a breathing world.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, the director of those games, like, specifically, he was inspired by wildlife, by being like, you're gonna have, like, something extremely dangerous lurking under the water, and something, like, very docile, like, up in the trees.
Right.
Like, if there's, like, a dinosaur, like, hiding in a cave or something, he's gonna be, like, completely too powerful compared to, like, all the wolves that are just scurrying about. Right. And, like, it acts like an ecosystem. And, like, that's how I prefer my open worlds. Not just all this space and, like, ooh, it's the biggest world ever. Just fill it with shit, please.
Well, not only that, but make it worth your while. Like, why put all the time and effort into creating a landscape for someone to go and not gain anything from it? Like, the whole point of a game is to gain something. Whether it's like you're gaining levels, you're gaining experience, you're gaining equipment, you know, you're playing a game for an end goal to get something. So, like, put something in that space that helps you reach your goal of the game.
Exactly. And I'm not against open worlds. I just think they could be utilized better. And some games do them better, a lot better than others. But because it's very trendy to just have an open world...
Well, that's when you, like, in the farthest corner, put, like, an extra life or some cool object. That way, like, you have to travel to get there. You get to see the open world, but it's not for nothing.
And again, we'll experience some of these games with their vast open worlds and hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Ooh.
Hundreds of hours of things to do.
I wonder if you would get as upset with me if you're like, hey, want to play this game? And I go, how long is it?
Depends on the game. I'd be like, no, she's got a point. Reason number 1, look at that case. Looks silly. Reason number 2, I could do this.
I could do this.
What does that have to do with it? No, he's got a point.
I love the Emperor's New Groove.
Damn it.
You done died again? Look at that lily.
Rest in peace, little Gex.
Rest in pieces.
Alright, well, I almost have enough this time, though. So I can just grab the rest of these jewels and beeline to the end.
I'm gonna steal this jewelry and hiatus out of there.
Alright, one more.
Oh!
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah! Okay, so now we don't have to worry about any more collectibles. That's the Titanic. See how the arrow's pointing up? This way to the Titanic.
How funny would it be if that was, like, actually under the ocean in the wreckage with the Titanic? Just like this waterproof light-up sign that's like, welcome to the Titanic.
Welcome to the Titanic.
I did watch a documentary on the Titanic where they showed footage, like, of the actual wreckage.
Ooh.
It's really cool. It's, like, it's eerie at the same time, though, because there are, like, nearly perfectly preserved dead bodies, like, just hanging out where they drowned. Like, it's eerie, but it's a really interesting documentary to watch. I wish I could remember what it was called. I'll have to do some research and see if I can find it. But yeah, it's really cool. It was about, like, the mechanics of the ship, why they thought it would be unsinkable, and, you know, essentially, like, how the iceberg was able to take this unsinkable ship down.
Yeah, and how it basically came out of nowhere. Because they didn't see it coming because it was so foggy.
They didn't see it coming, but they did have time to move, but they didn't think it was as large as it actually was.
Oh, wow.
So because at the time it was still
more tragic.
Yeah, it was still unknown how icebergs kind of, like, maybe not completely unknown, but it wasn't as common knowledge how icebergs work, that so much of it is actually underwater.
Under the water, yeah.
So, and they were just like, oh, well, you know, we'll just miss it. And they didn't. So they had time to turn to get out of the way, but they didn't because they thought they had enough space.
Oof.
So it was kind of like an accident that they saw coming, but thought they were good, but they weren't.
No, I get what you mean.
So yeah, it is like a really tragic story. But the documentary was really cool because they went into like the actual mechanics of it.
Yeah. I like documentaries every once in a
Oh,
while.
I love documentaries.
They're really cool.
I'm a nerd. I love it.
Whoop, whoop, hold on. I think that spat me back out to the other end of the cave. I gotta find me the...
I seek water.
There's a red remote hidden somewhere in this cave, but there's a lot of branching paths. So it's easy to get lost.
Yeah.
But one of these paths is the right path.
Now, what happens if you collect, like...
Shit. Ah, here we are.
What would happen if you collected, like, another 50 necklaces?
Nothing. I think an extra life.
On my
Oh.
tongue, dog.
And there we go. That's
Boom.
it. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next part where we finish the Titanic.
Toodles!